Right, so now I'm here in the 737 sim together with Beatrice.
Hello.
Thank you very much for willing to interview with me.
Sure.
Right, I would like to ask you a little bit, because you're part of the Ryanair Mentour program. Is
Exactly.
that right? What's your background? Where did you come from before you started the flight training?
So I was a cabin crew for Ryanair for 2 years, and I was finishing university as well. I did communication, and I fell in love with the aviation world. I started to go around with a little Piper with a friend. He's a captain in Ryanair as well, and I fell more and more in love. I started to look for academies and school and ways in which I could start this career. I've heard of AFTA, and that's where it all started. I contacted them.
So you were saving up money then while you were working?
Exactly.
Okay. Do you feel that having a background as cabin crew has helped you when it comes to understanding the industry? I mean, I know you haven't started flying yet for an airline, but do you feel like you have a little bit more insight?
I think so, and like I'm less scared. Like I know what it means to do 4 sectors in a day, and wake up at 3 a.m. and go to work, maybe not finish until 8 because you got a delay, and I think it's gonna help me more on this. I have a little insight. I know it's different to stay in the cabin than in the cockpit, of course, but the tiredness, the long day, the roster, the crew control, and
because this is interesting, because you still have the bug. Like you say, you love the aviation world, but you know what it's about, what is hitting, not only the positive and the great side, which there are many, but also that there are downsides to this. It's hard work. Like it's not it's not just like roses and stuff. And I do think that actually does help, because if you come into this world with realistic expectations of what you will get, it's much more likely that you will be happy. That you will.
Maybe I was thinking also the teamwork,
like
how to. Of course, I will always have a cabin crew side of the cabin crew look on the situation when it comes to working team and with the crew.
Absolutely. So how did you feel when you went through the assessment? Was it hard?
I got ready for it because it was a while I didn't do mathematics and physics. I did a scientific school in high school back in the day, but again, it was years I didn't do it. So I used a website to get ready for it. I studied, and then at the day, I guess I was prepared. Like you said many times, everyone said that good preparation is the first step to go into things. And the assessment itself, I think it was okay. Again, I was prepared, I was confident, and I was kind of worried for the simulator part because I had never done one before. But it was okay. You only need to show that you're teachable, I guess. You're not expected to know how to fly it, of course. And even the interview afterwards, I was kind of nervous, but then it went perfectly fine. AFTA stuff is great, so it was.
But this is very good points that you're bringing up. Like you will be nervous, guys. There's no question about it. Everyone will be. If you've been thrown into a simulator without any previous flying experience, what they're actually looking for is this person teachable? Like, can I give instruction to Beatrice and she can take up on that instruction reasonably fast? Even if I know that you've never flown in whatever the Diamond, was it the Diamond simulator?
No, I think it was a Seneca.
It's a Seneca simulator. I know that you've never flown it. I know you have no training on it. But if I tell you to pitch down and take off thrust to achieve a certain speed, will you do it? And that's what people are looking for in a simulator assessment like that. So don't freak out. Don't be too scared. They are looking for your personality, and also how do you react when something doesn't go your way? Because obviously you will make mistakes. Are you going to be reacting violently on it, or are you going to be calm, trying to take up the situation and make the best out of it? This is what they want to see. So obviously you were successful on that. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And what about the training now? You're happy with the progress and how it's going?
Yes, absolutely. I just recently did my solo I was struggling a little bit
Congratulations.
with it, but I made it. Now I'm very happy, confident.
Congratulations.
So thank you. And I can't wait to do my solo now. It's going to be these days, weather permitting. And yeah, I did the PPL ground school and PPL exam. That went well as well. So I'm happy, and I'm hoping to do my skill test as well and some hour building.
Yeah.
Can't wait to explore Ireland as well.
Excellent.
And then in September, ATPL is the big.
So you will do
Thank
this, the ATPL during the winter. Obviously, the
Yes.
weather is a little bit worse as well,
Yeah,
then, so that makes
exactly.
sense.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Should we take this baby for a ride?
Let's try.
Right, guys. What we're going to do now is something that I've actually never done. All right, Beatrice has never flown anything else than a Cessna, and I'm going to, we're going to have a look and see what a PPL student, what kind of level when it comes to flying a 737 she's at. So, you want
I'm glad I'm with an experienced pilot.
All right, let's have a go.
1310 at 16, everyone right, set on right. Clear to land, 31 right. Delta 260. Pretty good.
Okay, you want to give it a try?
Let's go.
Let's see how this goes. All right. So the before takeoff checklist below the line has been completed. So we would start timing. There's no need for that now. Put your hands on the thrusts, and what we'll do is we'll stand them up to about 40%. Right. To get both engines stabilized at the same.
There it is.
There it goes. Yeah. And when I call stabilize, you just press toga, which is these buttons here below. So
Okay.
stabilized.
Pressed it.
Set takeoff thrusts. Let's see. I don't know, the auto throttle doesn't seem to do much, but leave it there. Takeoff thrust set. Indications normal. Okay, look outside. You keep the center line with your rudders. A little bit of right rudder. 80 knots. Checked. You see it's very sensitive when it comes to the
Yeah.
rudder. V1. Rotate. So light back pressure. Somewhere around there.
Looks like
there we
we
go.
are going
And then
slow.
continue to pull back. There we go. Now you have the flight director, so you can just follow that. Okay. Into the cross. Positive rate. Take the gear up. 400 feet. We have heading select. There we are. So don't turn. Just keep it to the right there. You see the descent line. So the flight director, if you keep the little square there bang in the middle of the flight director,
Okay. It's gonna be fine.
it's going to be fine. So now you're a little bit high. Coming into leveling off. So if you put your hands on the thrusts, you see that the auto throttle is taking the thrust off. So we're
Okay,
leveling
yeah.
off, follow the flight director, leveling off here. You can turn a little bit to the right. So basically when you're flying the flight director, what you want to do is be bang in the middle of the cross all the time. Never
Okay.
accept anything else, because it's so fast that it would very, very quickly react otherwise. So you see, now you're descending. So we keep that. What we actually do now is turn off the flight directors, because it'll give you a better feeling what you're used to.
Okay.
Okay, so we're flying now with flaps 5. You're going straight ahead, which is perfect. 2000. If you want to you disconnect the auto throttle. That's the little button here on the side.
It's always.
This one. There we go. Now there's no auto throttle anymore. So you can take off a bit of thrust. And you
Just a
see,
little bit.
when you do that, it immediately starts descending.
Okay.
All right, so you can
So
trim a
I have
little
to-
bit with your thumb. Trim it backwards. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to turn right. Okay, give it about 25 degrees of bank, and try to maintain the altitude as you do. A little bit of back pressure needed, like that. And you're quite high on speed, so you don't have to worry about that. What I'll do as well is I'll do this. There we go. Good. Getting back up to 2000. 25 degrees of bank, perfect. And keep one hand on the thrust so that you don't. If you need 2 hands, it means you need to trim.
Okay.
Okay. You see the speed is coming down now when you're climbing, so push forward a little bit.
There we go. To
A
turn.
little bit more thrust. Somewhere around there. Cool. Keep turning. Nice. We'll get down to 1500 feet here, so nice. Keep that rate of descent that you're doing now. Take off some thrust. You see the speed is coming up, and now you have about 30 degrees to go. So you just be careful and start leveling out.
Okay, before.
There we go. Keep descending like that down to 1500. Great. Good. So we keep descending down to 1500 feet. So pitch down a little bit, take off some thrust as you do, just like you would in a Cessna. And if you look out there, you see the runway out there to the right.
Yes.
Yeah, don't look out too much though, because then you will descend like crazy. Keep this turning a little bit more to the right. Heading off a track of 0 degrees. Good. Nice and smooth inputs. This is what we're looking for. That's good. And we're soon back onto the speed as well. So you're doing very well at the moment.
Good.
But you see that it's much more sensitive. If you look at the way that you're climbing now, you want to keep it going down to 1500 feet approximately.
1500.
Okay, cool. And you see the speed is building up there, so level off.
1500, so little thrust.
About 5 degrees pitch up or so. And no, that's too much. That's 7.5, so 5 is the middle one there.
Yeah.
And about 60% of thrust should be good. There we go.
So if it's too heavy, I just...
Yeah, so trim. Whenever you feel that, trim. Put it back up so that you level, and then trim away the forces. Always work like that. So you trim first, sorry, you handle it first and then you trim. A little bit to the left so we don't get too close to the runway. There we are. Good, we're descending. So
Yes.
pitch up a little bit. Don't be afraid of it. No, don't be afraid of it. It's just like a big Cessna.
Do you have to put a little power to go back up?
No, because you have
not
high
really.
speed.
I'm getting too close to the
There we go,
runway
pitch
as
down
well.
again. So we put it down to exactly where we want it, around there. Okay, hold it there. And now you're on,
Okay.
you see? And don't let it go. So whenever you feel like you need to use forces, you need to trim. Okay, take off a little bit of thrust as well. There we are, cool. Right, so now, if you look out, you see we're beating the threshold there, so I'm gonna start timing. We're gonna go outbound here for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
And then we're going to take the gear down, flap 15, start reducing the thrust. And when we take out the flaps, you'll feel that the aircraft will balloon, it will start to climb a little bit. So you'll have to counteract that, but I'll talk you through it.
Okay.
Okay? You're doing really nicely now, a little bit high on the speed. Don't start
So a
descending yet.
little less
A
power.
little bit less thrust, yeah, and keep the attitude going. Okay, so we come to 30 seconds there, so take the gear down, flaps to 15, and I'm going to have to choose a VREF speed. There we go with flaps 30. Take some thrust off, and you see, and then continue like that. Water break. Now the 45 seconds, so you can start turning inbound, and don't
No.
descend too much. So turn right. Don't descend too much. And we keep this just turning inbound. We're turning towards final now, so don't climb. And it's about 30 degrees of bank. Don't descend too much. Ooh, little bit low. Little bit low. You see that sink rate? We want to try to avoid that, so we keep up the pitch up a little bit. Keep it like that. We're probably a little bit low now, because we're quite far out of it. So add a little bit of thrust. We're quite low now, we're 500 feet. So you can level off there. And more thrust, because we're going low in speed. And just keep turning. And look outside as well. So not too much more than that. There we go. So the trend vector here is turning us nicely onto final. So use that bank angle, approximately. We're very low now, so we keep it at 500 feet at least until we're established on final.
Okay.
Good. That's it. So keep it there. You see the runway coming up. You see we're on 4 reds there, so we want to keep 500 feet now. Start to level off the turn a little bit, gently. Take off a little bit of thrust. Still descending, so keep it like that. And then as we're getting on to the big poppies, I'm going to give you more flaps. We're a little bit low still, so we keep it there. Okay. There we can fucking low. Okay, we're soon coming back in now. You see, we're still low. That's the thing. That's
Yeah,
that's the
you're
descent
still
when we
right.
started in the turn. But you're on the final. Let's see. There we go. We're coming on to one white there, so we can start pitching down a little bit. Now we're action for about 700 feet per minute. So I'll give you flaps 30 there. Take off a little bit seat. Take off some thrust and keep about 700 feet per minute and start looking outside. That's a little bit too little, so we keep descending down. You need something like this. Okay.
Okay.
About 1,000 feet per minute now to get back onto the profile.
400.
You see your poppies?
Yes.
Yeah. So keep descending with this rate. Look outside now
300.
onto the touchdown zone markings.
Yeah.
Keep it at this rate.
200.
It's looking good. Approximately like that. Good.
100.
And then at about 30 feet, we'll start the flare. Okay.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Take the thrust off. Oh, no, keep it. Keep it. There we go. Speed brake up. Reverses. Go for the reverses and pull them up.
Up.
Up, all the way up. There we go. So speed brakes up, 2 reverses, coming up to 75%. Stop braking.
Braking.
Yeah, with the toes. There we are. Got 90 knots, 80 knots. Keep it on the center line. 60 knots. And start stowing the reverses. There we are. We can take off a little bit because it's a little bit high on speed. Look outside and inside. 750 feet per minute, 800. Now you're descending beautifully. A little bit high on speed, so we can take off a little bit of thrust. And as you do, it's going to pitch down a little bit more.
So.
But at the moment, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so look out. You have 2 whites, 2 reds. And don't let it get away from the center line. Okay?
Yeah.
That's 2 big corrections. So smaller corrections because you feel it's a bit spongy. And you move so fast now that you get off the center line immediately. So that's... There we go. You're about 3 reds now, so pitch back a little bit. Small corrections. And keep the center line. So don't be happy until you're exactly on the center line. A little bit to the right. You see your left of center line?
Yeah, because I was
minimums.
trying to use the heading on the screen,
But here it's just
No.
visual. This is just
Okay.
visual now. Continue. Coming back onto the center line. A little bit. You still have 3 reds.
pitch up a little bit.
Perfect. That's it. Tiny corrections like that. 500 feet per minute will get you back on nicely. You're back on speed now as well. Nice. Great. Bang on speed, bang on the path now. Slightly right of center line, but tiny.
500.
I'm right, so
Yeah.
I should go a little left.
The center line should be bang in between your legs.
400.
So no bigger than that because it's going to quickly go off the center line. So a little bit right now to correct back.
300.
A little bit more right. There we go. Perfect.
200.
That's fine. Disregard the poppies now and just concentrate on getting to the runway.
100.
Okay, a little bit of thrust. There we
50.
go. Perfect.
40.
Start
30.
flaring.
20. 10.
There we go. Oh, keep it going so that you don't over flare. There we go. Speed brake up. Reverses. Remember you have to land the
Yep.
nose wheel as well on this thing. It doesn't land by itself. There we go. 2 reverses. And then keep the center line. Small, smooth movements like that. 69, 90 knots. 80 knots. 60 knots I have controls.
The controls.
When you're braking. That's it.
Wow.
Down. Easy. Yeah, but you see, like on the Cessna, when you move like that, you have a couple of seconds to control it. But here, if you
It's
start
not.
turning off, it's just going off the center line immediately. So you have to be really, really assertive with it. Like, okay, I'm off the center line, but tiny bit, I'm going to get back on again. And
Okay.
the further out you do that, the easier it is. At the end, if you're stabilized, everything is trimmed, it just goes down and kind of, down into the flare itself.
Even getting used to the feeling of the trim is different from that.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Wow, cool. Thank you. Bye.
Right, guys, I really hope that you liked that. If you want more content like that, more aviation content, well then, check this out. I hope that you have subscribed to the channel and that you've highlighted the little notification bell. See you inside of the Mentour Aviation app and have an absolutely fantastic day. Bye-bye.